The Australian bush is home to many things, some are best avoided. It is, however, also home to an amazing network of much-loved tracks and trails. It is these tracks that have drawn over 1,000 mountain bikers from across Australia and the rest of the world to race in the 6th edition of the Port to Port mountain bike stage race. Inspired by the legendary ABSA Cape Epic, mountain bike stage racing is rapidly growing in popularity and interest as more and more riders seek out the challenge of backing up their racing day after day. The Port to Port is one of the longest running races in Australia and part of the Epic race series, which includes the Pioneer in New Zealand, Europe's Swiss Epic and the Cape Epic in South Africa. Over the next 5 days, riders will take to the hills and trails of the Hunter Valley in New South Wales. They'll haul themselves up 3,500 metres of climbing and blast through 190 kilometres of forest road and single track to the finish line in the historic port town of Newcastle. This is the Port to Port 2019. The Hunter region is one of Australia's historic areas, an industrial heartland and one of the oldest wine-producing regions in the country. These days, it's a major leisure destination with great beaches, golf resorts, vineyards, restaurants and microbreweries among its many attractions. The Port to Port is a 4-day, 4-stage event which takes in the very best of the region. Originally a point-to-point race, the event now makes its way around the region, incorporating the best terrain and tracks the Hunter and Central Coast has to offer, before finishing right on the beach in the port city of Newcastle. For 2019, the Port to Port evolves again with the introduction of pairs-based racing. The original solo format, that has been retained, but as part of the Epic series, the race now features 2-person teams for both men and women. Ahead of the first full stage, the teams got a look at the opposition as they arrived for registration and a hard and fast time trial around the Oaks Cypress Lakes Golf Resort. It's a chance to size up the opposition and to start the week with a cash prize and a 1-minute advantage.
Should be interesting. We've got some stiff competition in the mixed pairs category, so it'll definitely be close racing, but I'm excited to do the trails because especially I think it's day 2 we go to Killingworth, which I used to race at probably 15, 20 years ago, and it's like mint trails. It brings back some memories and I just remember it being real awesome trails, so I'm excited to get that stage under the belt.
I think the racing, I mean, it's been close previously, over here, definitely last year, I think it was 15 seconds or something in it at the finish after 4 days, so yeah, it seems like there's some riders in each team who are really close. So yeah, I'm expecting some close racing with a bunch of guys.
I don't know, expectations, obviously hope to win, but the biggest expectation is to go out and have a lot of fun and just ride together. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Honestly, just excited to race with him, because I always hear about his race, and it'll be good to actually see him on the bike, because I really haven't seen him in race conditions, so it'll be cool.
Never ridden it, first time. Samara has managed to get me over here. I know it's warm and I've got a great teammate, so go from there. Some fun.
I think the time trial is a good way to start it, blow some of the cobwebs out of the legs and see how everyone's sort of going. I'm sure it'll be fun.
At 1.5 kilometres, the time trial means very little in racing terms, but it's a good psychological boost.
Ollie and Michael, congratulations, the $500 cash and the 1-minute time bonus.
You're looking great, Doug. Well done.
It was good to get out and put a good performance in to start the week. Riding in a time trial around the golf course here is very different to tomorrow's circuit, so tomorrow will be a good test of where we're at.
The first full stage of the Port to Port opens in wine country at the Audrey Wilkinson Winery. Mist coats the hills, but the conditions are calm and cool. Perfect for dragging yourself up a big hill on a bike. More than 1,100 riders will race across the 4 stages this week, with both solo and team categories to decide before the finish in Newcastle. With the Port to Port now part of a series which includes the Cape to Cape, Reef to Reef and the Pioneer, riders are travelling from all over the country and more than a few making their way over from New Zealand.
Today we're in the beautiful Hunter Valley in New South Wales, just out of Sydney. We're at the Port to Port 4-day stage mountain bike race, and yeah, as you can see, the atmosphere is buzzing already. We're about to get into day 1.
It's 48 Ks. There's about 900 metres of climbing. Yeah, it's going to be a good starting point to see where we're at. It's obviously not won and lost on the first day. So you get home safe and see where we're at the end of it.
You can find your place, get settled in, like everybody's pretty nervous on stage 1, so you've got all that passing room that you can get round people and just really settle into the to the 4 days for people that are doing the 4 days anyway.
Josh Carlson, as I live and breathe. Here he is, a giant factory off-road team rider. You've brought your downhill bike for the event.
Mate, this is as cross-country as it gets. I changed my trans from the CI to downhill to race this event. Put a long stem on it, dropped it down, took my chain guide off, put light cross-country tyres on. It's going to be quite the day. I am actually pretty excited. You know, it's quite out of my comfort zone at the moment. This is not my day job, let me tell you, trendsetters. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's good to be here in Newcastle. I've heard so many good
We're in
things.
the Hunter Valley.
Hunter Valley, Newcastle, central New South Wales. I'm very stoked to be here, and I'm glad to be around some like-minded, kind people.
Yeah, well, I'm not one of them.
I'm looking for them. If anyone finds them, let me know. Yeah, because I haven't found them yet.
Have a wonderful day. We're underway. Roll away safely, everyone.
It's a mass start on day 1 and a huge bunch of riders roll out of the arch at Audrey Wilkinson Vineyard on a perfect day, heading for the hills of Pokolben. Stage 1 is all about the big hill. From Audrey Wilkinson Winery, the riders are quickly into the climb, 500 metres in the first 15k, making their way into the Pokolben State Forest. On the tops, it's undulating before dropping into a single-track loop of Wishing Well. From here, it's back the way you came, finishing 48 kilometres later at Spice's Retreats. This is a stage designed to separate the best from the rest.
$5 up for grabs for King of the Mountain. $5 up for grabs. Tassie, you want $5? You want $5? Oh, he's got it, Tassie's got it! Thanks for coming. He didn't know what he was grabbing, but he got it.
Stage 1 is a seeding stage. This is all about finding your place in the field and gauging the strength of the opposition. The race favourites are quickly to the front. The Nankervis brothers are setting the pace with the Trek Shimano team, Ward brothers, the Tassie Devils and the Giant Australia Off-Road team of John Odoms and Brendan Johnson.
Yeah, so we had a good experience last year racing Reef to Reef together. We won that event, which was great. Competition here is going to be significantly more challenging. There's a really deep field, lots of men's pairs, masters pairs, mix. It's going to be really fast and pretty hard racing.
Yeah, I mean certainly the riders or the teams to watch, the Nankervis brothers, Tasman and Russ, the Ward brothers, Kyle and Jaden definitely, Reese Tucknott and Brent Reese, they're also strong. Ben Bradley, Alex Slack, another strong team. They're the ones we're watching, but that's quite a few, so I think it'll be anyone's race.
We're here to win, plain and simple. Like, if we could win every stage and win the overall, and that'd be great. Just going to give it our best shot, give it all, leave it all out there and ride as hard as we can.
Early indications are that it's going to be hard to hang on to Tasman and Russ Nankervis. They arrive at the Wishing Well Loop 30 seconds ahead of the chasing group and 1 minute up on the Giant Off-Road Australia team. Heading back from the halfway point, the Nankervis brothers seem to be on a roll. Now 1 minute 30 ahead of their closest chasers, the Tassie Devils team of Ben Bradley and Alex Lack. A little further back, the time trial winners Samara Shepherd and Kate McElroy have a commanding lead in the open women's team event, leading by almost 10 minutes.
Keeping these people happy. Hey, yeah, there we go.
Oh, good so far. Pretty tough, but looking forward to the last bit, so it's great fun.
Well, we're just over halfway, and they told us it's all downhill.
I'm here.
Could be lying there.
Could be a lie.
Jesus, good. Fantastic trails.
Oh, yeah!
Hey,
With 10Ks to go, the leaders arrive at the top of the final descent, and the Nankervis brothers are now nowhere to be seen. There are now 3 teams contesting the stage win, with Trek Shimano, Tassie Devils and the Ward brothers back in the mix. With their 1 minute advantage from the time trial, the Ward brothers are the virtual yellow jersey holders. After a few issues, including a crash for John Odoms, the Giant Australia off-road team follows 2 minutes 40 seconds behind. In the solo individual races, Ben Mather and Caleb Agostino Morrow are battling it out at the front of the men's category, while two-time Pioneer winner Kate Fluker leads the women's solo race.
It's tough.
Man, what happened?
Just coming off the main descent. Had a back wheel explosion. Actually had a pretty good lead.
Oh no.
It's a bit devastating, but...
That's unretrievable. So it's the long walk home?
Yeah, the long walk ventured out, so I'll probably be happy by the time I get back.
Sweet, mate.
He can dink me most of the week.
Go well, bud.
Yeah.
These are the people that make the race happen. These are the lovely volunteers. How long have you been out here?
Today, well, we left home at about 6 a.m.
There you go.
But we've been here sitting since 7:30.
Lovely. And you've got a picnic here. What's in the picnic?
Coffee, dates, biscuits, fruit.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a chicken wrap, actually. It sounds delicious.
All made by Charlestown Rotary volunteers. We're part of the Charlestown Rotary group.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for coming out. It's great to have you here.
This is the 4th year the Rotary group have helped out as volunteers, and yeah, so it's a fundraiser. We use the money for other Rotary projects.
And how's the day? It's delightful.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's the weather's lovely. Hope it continues for the next 4 days.
Thank you. We hope that too.
Our members are out for the 4 days at all the different venues.
Oh, great. And without these lovely volunteers, we just wouldn't have an event. So thank you for coming out.
Watch the gravel! Watch the gravel!
As the end of the stage approaches and the riders return to the iconic vineyards of the Hunter Valley, all eyes are on the finish line at Spicer's Retreat. And it's the Tasmanian pair of Alex Lack and Ben Bradley who win the push to the line. They cross in 1 hour 52 and 12 seconds to take out stage 1. The Ward brothers are second in the Spicer's Retreat, just 13 seconds behind. With their 1 minute advantage after the time trial, they secure themselves the yellow jersey.
Kyle and Jake Ward now in second place.
Third place honours go to the Trek Shimano team of Callum Carson and Tom Green.
Over the line is Callum Carson and Matthew Dinham, Trek Shimano, Australia.
Pretty surprised, to be honest, but no, we'll take it. A couple of guys had some issues out there that I think will probably be stronger over the course of the next few days, but we've got to be opportunistic and take what you can get, so yeah, definitely happy.
two teams that we kind of had our eyes on for today's stage were probably the Giant team and Taz and Russ. And basically, both of them were out of contention from the last quarter of the event to go to the stage. We knew that we had that minute up the sleeve, so it came into play probably more than we thought it might have.
Giant Australia off-road team crossed the line just under 3 minutes behind the leaders for 4th place on the stage. Solo line honours go to Ben Mather, while the women's pair, Sam and Kate, put down an impressive marker, leading by 18 minutes on a stage that played well to their strengths as experienced road cyclists.
I think today it was awesome to start with the hill. It's probably our strength between us, and then I think we got a bit of a gap on the rest of the girls, and then just following Samara's wheel and that single track at the top. It's awesome just seeing her lines and trying to keep up with her as much as I can. And yeah, and then obviously it's a good mix with the rocky descents, and had lots of guys around us to try and follow them on as they sort of bomb past us. So yeah, no, it's a pretty good day.
It's been a day of literal and metaphorical ups and downs.
Port to port. We heard you guys were smashing it. Pretty good. What happened? That is obviously that. I've never seen
Actually, you made it back.
Thanks for the fiver.
Well done. Good effort. I don't know if $5 is going to repair the wheel, but we'll give it a go.
Oh, I didn't. It wasn't all the failures today. I got $5. I got fine. It goes pear-shaped pretty quick.
An act of God.
Go fast.
An act of God. See you guys.
Holy heck.
Over the next couple of hours, the rest of the field make their way to the finish. Stage 1 is behind them, but there are 3 more days ahead, so the focus shifts to rest and recovery.
Build up the energy for tomorrow.
Yes, eating for tomorrow.
Then Saddies. Big day on Saturday.
We're on a bit of a high at the moment. I mean, we didn't expect to be here at the moment, so anything from here is a bonus. Yeah, we'll try and chip away, and hopefully we can back up in the coming days. And there's a lot of hours of racing to come yet, so I'm sure it'll blow apart more than 45 odd seconds.
Day by day, the race makes its way ever closer to the beach in Newcastle. Leaving Wine Country behind, Stage 2 moves down the road 40 minutes to Killingworth and Lake Macquarie, home to some of the oldest and most well-regarded Singletrack in New South Wales. Day 2 of the Port to Port dawns perfect once again, as the riders assemble at the Sugar Valley Golf Course in West Wallsend. The day itself may be perfect, but that is no guarantee of a perfect day, even if you have travelled from Western Australia to race Port to Port.
Very, very frustrating. So was it this side or that side? Like, it's a press fit bearing. So press fit bottom bracket, like spin it, like it's not going anywhere. I've done the Cape to Cape about 5 times now. So first Port to Port, wanted to do it forever. Like I said, I've had this thing on and off like 3 times yesterday, but the bearing cups out.
Are you going to make the start line?
I'm sure as hell going to try. He's going to make it.
This stage was a new addition to the event in 2018 and proved a huge hit with the racers, making it one of the most anticipated stages of the week.
Killingworth was really big in New South Wales mountain biking before I started riding, and so I've never ridden it, and last year I was just here volunteering, so I got to watch everybody cross the line going like, that was awesome, and I had the massive FOMO, so I'm very excited for today.
First time at Port to Port, and mate, just, yeah, so stoked to get through the first day and looking forward to a little bit easier section this time around, so yeah, all good. Go hard or go home, hey?
One look at the stage map shows what this day is all about. This is 46 kilometres of sheer single track heaven. Starting on the south slopes of Mount Sugarloaf, The course winds its way through kilometre after kilometre of bush single track. It is flat, fast, flowy and fun.
The race within the race, the solo category. Ben, where's your jersey? You didn't get one.
Oh, I sort of took off before Prezos. It was a little bit hot and us Taswegians want to get out of the sun.
But, yeah, okay. Well, you are leading, though.
Oh, I believe so, yes.
Who do we have here?
Christy Henderson.
Lovely. And how was yesterday? Good, obviously.
Yeah, fantastic. Loved it. Very hard.
And more single track today. Are you excited?
Yeah, that'll be very fun. Bit of a rest for the legs, hopefully.
Great. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
After the wide and open roads of stage 1, today's single track is a different race altogether, requiring a different tactical approach.
A lot of single track, so it's kind of going to be like every man for themselves. There'll be no consideration for team other than the fact that you have to be within that 2 minute space. But if you spend too much time looking around for your partner, you end up getting pushed further back and back and back. So it's probably a better approach just to attack it as if it was a singles race, but just know that we're quite confident we're similar pace on that sort of terrain. And then just trust if anything goes wrong that he'll yell loud enough.
So stage 2 is really different from stage 1. We're using the trails in Killingworth, which is the old school mountain bike park. A lot of the riders, particularly the elite riders who are a bit older, they remember sort of learning at Killingworth and going to their club races and things there. So taking it back there is a really nice memory for them and they can give it another go. Then we link that up with Holmesville, which is fairly new mountain bike tracks in the region. So there's a lot of locals that have gone in there and done some awesome work. Nice flowy trails, well formed, like it changes every week when we go in there. So we love including that. You've really got to focus on where you're going, particularly in Holmesville. Sort of you're winding and turning and going back on yourself 100 times over. So the course guys do a great job with the markings to make sure we get everyone in and out of there the way that they're meant to go. It's a fun stage, so you don't have the climbing that you had the day before. You can sort of enjoy the single track, have your head down and go the whole day and cross the finish line with a big smile on your face.
What do we got? The Giant Boys 1-2 charging through the single track. We got Yon Yon, Trekkie in second, Ben Bradley in third, Alex third, and the Nankervis brothers. And we've got a gap. The leaders of the bike race have been dropped. The Ward brothers are not here.
With men's, women's, mixed and masters categories in the event, there are numerous races within races taking place every day, all of them tightly contested.
Rowan is on the charge. Brad is hanging on for dear life. Larry, cool as a cucumber. Rizzo on the hunt. And we got Adam and Benny. Go!
After yesterday's drama with the Nankervis brothers dropping out of GC contention, the Ward brothers are now mechanical casualties on stage 2.
Have you had a problem? All right, get up there. Go, go, go. We just saw Jaden and Kyle go through for Ward brothers. They've snapped their chain and lost about 7 minutes, so the race has been turned on its head. Port to port this year, chaos.
In the other categories, the race is running far more to script. Brother and sister duo Michael and Holly Harris for Shram Marita started day 2 just over 10 minutes in front of their nearest rivals, and powering through the second half of stage 2, the national representatives look set to extend that lead again. Team Sam and Kate lead once again in the open women's race, but on the tight single track, the gap to Bryony Maddox and Sarah Tucknott is oh so much closer. Stage 2 finishes where it began, and it's the Giant Australia duo of John Odoms and Brendan Johnson who drive down the fairway in the lead. Crossing the line for the win on stage 2, but only by seconds as the chase group of Nankervis Cup and Tassie Devils cross 13 seconds behind. The question, however, is how much time have the Ward brothers lost? Masters men's leaders Andy Blair and Matt Rizzuto win their second stage for cyclery Tiffin. narrowly ahead of rivals Brad Clark and Rowan Adams. In the end, their mechanical issues cost the Ward brothers 8 minutes and 45 seconds, emphatically ending their stint in the yellow jersey.
Yeah, it was tough, but for the wrong reasons, unfortunately. Today ended up getting a broken chain, probably 20k in, so it made for a little bit different day out in the saddle. But no, I'm lucky to have my brother alongside me, because I would have thrown my toys, and he kept me in line, and we got back on the track, and yeah, kept it together. Unfortunately, we lost some time, but that's racing. Like you win some, you lose some, and when you're losing, you just have to make the best out of the situation, and that was just to get to the finish line as quick as we could.
Yeah, I mean, the goal today was to just get time back, and I think, you know, we did pretty well with that. The Tassie guys, Ben and Alex, they're obviously riding really strong, and they proved that today. We only just shook them towards the end, but I think, yeah, I mean, we're definitely not out of it, so we're really pushing forward.
With so much single track, you can really just let the brakes off and just get as much grip as you can. I mean, there's some sand traps and stuff, which makes it a little bit more tricky, but yeah, it's just so fast and so fun out there. Amazing. Yeah.
The contrast to day one is marked. With the end of stage 2 approaching, the riders are at the halfway point of the tour and can start to relax and just enjoy the experience of racing on some of the best trails Australia has to offer.
Today, I could have rode trails like that forever. Most people want to put a bullet in their head after a 20k of it, but I love it. It's just smooth trails, twists, turns, up and down. It's just, you can just sort of just get into a bit of a rhythm and just keep it flowing and yeah, have fun with it. Unless you're at the right at the pointy end of the race, come here to enjoy it. You know, you don't need to drill yourself into a hole every day, unless you really want to. But enjoy, you know, it's a beautiful place, perfect weather. If you're happy to eat dirt, then yeah, have fun.
I don't like too much pain. I like to have fun and then get off the bike and relax. I don't like 9 hours of pain a day or 7 hours, whatever it is. After a certain point in time, it's not fun anymore. But this is fun. This is really good fun.
It's just a good balance. Yeah. Really good balance. Like 4 days with a mate, having a bit of pain in the morning and a couple of drinks and a bit of social in the afternoon. It's awesome.
At the end of stage 2, the yellow jersey of the Open men is the only one to change hands in the team event, moving onto the shoulders of the Tassie Devils, Alex Lack and Ben Bradley. Kate Fluker surrenders her leader's jersey to fellow Kiwi Josie Wilcox, but both are eclipsed by the Masters solo rider Christy Henderson, who leads her Masters category and the women's solo GC. After a day of perfect conditions and perfect trails, it's the sort of stage that makes every rider feel like a winner.
Today, I reckon I was telling the other guys, it's probably my favourite port-to-port stage ever. It was just sort of single track, it seemed, for 45 Ks, and it didn't stop, and it was so good. We had about 28 seconds yesterday and just won the sprint finish today and got a couple of seconds, so we're here and we're going to have a battle. It's close, that's what we wanted. You know, if Brad and Rowan can get us by the end, then fair play to them, and I'm sure we'll have a beer at the end and share a few laughs, so yeah, can't lose really.
2 down and 2 to go. The port-to-port moves on. Still ahead of the riders is the Queen stage, the longest of the week, and stage 4, the final stretch along the beautiful Central Coast to Newcastle.
Port to Port traditionally was a point-to-point race, as was sort of Cape to Cape. In the last few years, we've tried to make logistics easier for riders and getting sort of a Clover type format so that we could have an epicentre. A little harder to do with Port to Port because of the mountain bike trails that we have are dispersed, but trying to keep at that central hub where riders will come back in the evening and they'll all stay together and have dinner together and have a beer and share the stories of the day. So moving towards that loop course just makes life a lot easier for everyone, including the crew.
The highs and lows of the 2019 Port to Port continue into day 3. High, another perfect day ahead of the riders. Low, the curse of the yellow jersey continues for the open men. No sooner is it won than it is cruelly snatched away.
So you've taken off the yellow jersey.
I have, yeah.
That you never got to wear.
I know, yeah.
That's devastating.
It is.
But Ben's sick?
Yeah, not sure what he's done, but yeah, can't ride today. Seems to be a bit of a curse at the moment for anyone in the lead, but...
Well, yeah, you did have all the luck going and you didn't even get to the start line with the jersey.
Yeah, bit of a shame.
But will you get to start with the boys or you're now individual?
I'll start with everyone at the front, but yeah, no result for me anymore.
Oh, well, yeah. Give us a hug, mate.
We're up to the third stage of Port to Port, Awaba, and then there's a big nasty climb straight after that. The trails here, I remember I did this back in 2017, are awesome. Like, I'm very excited. I was excited with the Singletrack yesterday, but even more excited today. It's super important with this stage, like once you get over that climb, you get in a good group. So if you're in a good group and the undulating, you can really make up time.
Stage 3 is the Queen stage, home of Awaba. Hunter Mountain Bike Association look after the tracks there, and you won't find any better in the country. It's a long day, so you know you've had your climb, you've had your fun, and sort of now you're in for your endurance. So coming in at 58 k's, it's the longest day of the 4 days. You've got your single track in there. You're in there for quite a while before you come out, and you've got that climb that just feels like it goes forever and ever and ever. But you know once that's done, it's done. And so you've got some more good tracks to enjoy in the Wattigans afterwards.
The pace is frantic through the opening single track section as the lead teams and solo riders get down to business. The Nankervis boys are on the front once again. Out of GC contention on day 1, the brothers seem to be enjoying themselves, just putting the hurt on the remaining GC teams and pushing for stage wins. On its debut, the team's element appears to have brought real depth and talent to the event.
Introducing the team's event was motivated by our connection to Epic Series and the Cape Epic. You know, we've got a lot of riders that come back and back in the elite field, and they love the culture of the race. Changing it up this year and bringing teams in brought a new motivation for so many of the riders. So we've seen them on the podium again this year, and them getting a new motivation or a commitment to their team member has been really nice for them, I think, too. It's been nice for us to see as well.
For me personally, it's kind of rejuvenated my motivation. You know, I've been in a position before where I'm coming up here trying to win the thing outright, but I'm a bit slower these days. So the pairs aspect has really motivated me, and yeah, it's been really good. And to pair up with my buddy Matt Rizzuto and just trying to get the best out of him every day and be on the journey together, it's been really good.
The single track of Awaba is a great intro to stage 3, but the stage really starts with the 7-kilometre climb which follows. This is the longest stage, and at 1,250 metres has the most climbing of the 4 days. On the top is an undulating stretch of road through the Wattigans National Park and a single track descent to the finish.
Ever. Great. So long. Since she's been pushing me, it's wonderful.
This girl's a champion.
It's great to have Singletrack early. You can enjoy it before you're in too much pain. This is all right though. This is better than the first day's hill because it's smoother. Not so many line choices to make.
The best race I ever done ever. Point to poor baby. Woo!
The women's leaders, Kate McElroy and Samara Shepherd, lead the GC by over 20 minutes at the start of stage 3. Not bad for a new pairing.
Yeah, this was actually one of my first races when I came to Australia, and it's been awesome actually. It's my first time racing as a female pair as well, and Kate and I get on really well, and we've just had a blast. Being in pairs, it changes the whole dynamic. I've been an individual racer my whole life, and it's just a lot more fun, and you can sort of feed off each other. So I like that element, and I think just being surrounded by friends and chilling out as well, the whole package makes it quite inviting. Cape Epic is a race that I would love to do one day. Obviously there's the 3 races here with reef to reef, cape to cape, port to port. I think as each day goes on, we realise that we work really well together, and it can only really build from there. And I think we'd both love to do Cape Epic one day. So I think if we can get everything dialed in here in Australia and racing in New Zealand, then we could go over there and potentially do pretty well. Yeah, the series is a great chance to ride together as a pair and have some fun, see a bit of Australia and ride some different trails. So it's a great lead up to one of the world's biggest races.
So I guess the Epic Series is a family of mountain bike events that sort of have been put together all in really different locations, all have a really beautiful culture to them and in gorgeous places to come and visit. So you get to ride great trails in the morning and then go visit in the afternoon. So I guess Cape to Cape and Port to Port have sort of been sister events for quite a while, bringing Reef to Reef into the family last year and then moving into having the Pioneer and of course the Cape Epic, which is sort of the big one and the one that so many mountain bikers aspire to. So it's great to be part of the series.
Solid day you had, Mark.
Oh, pretty good, but I might have taken a wrong turn and done a few extra Ks today. So, yeah, don't put that in the video. Downhill from here. Let's go.
From the Wadigans National Park, the descent is fast and tricky on rutted roads and technical single track. But at the bottom, it is just a short push to the finish line. John Odoms and Brendan Johnson ride well to cross the line first on stage 3. Determined to stay competitive, the Nankervis brothers cross in second, just 15 seconds behind. Odoms and Johnson seem to be finding their legs as the race wears on, and it's 1 minute 26 seconds before the next GC challengers, Trek Shimano, arrive at the finish. The Ward brothers are a further minute and 30 back, confirming the Giant Australia off-road team as GC leaders.
Yeah, feeling good. Bit disappointed with Alex and Ben going out. That's a real shame. They were riding really well, and we had our work cut out to try and get over them today. But we sort of had a plan. We kind of stuck to it anyway, and I think today we had a super ride. So yeah, just stoked. And tomorrow's another day, but yeah, we've got a good buffer.
It's been another outstanding day for the Harris siblings. Michael and Holly once again too strong for the chasing teams of Pushies Shimano Cannondale and Pivot Shimano. The Harris pair take the win 5 minutes clear of the chasing teams after a great day out on the trail.
Honestly, stage 3 is my favourite, so I've been really looking forward to this one. I actually really enjoy the climbs, and Awaba, and the really loose, there's honestly not a bit I don't like. in this stage. So I was, really enjoyed it. And to be able to do it with Mick today was really cool. Like he just, for me, just to be able to go that much faster is incredible. Like it just opens up a whole new level of racing for me. And it's incredible to be with like your Andy Blairs and people that, inspire you. So like it's really, really cool.
It was good. Good day. Good trails, good people, good racing, beautiful weather, well-organised event. Pretty sure there's a food van here that does sweet potato chips.
For most of the field, the goal is finishing the race and the pressure is now off, with only the final stage remaining.
That was awesome. Good to be home. Beer time.
I think everyone relaxes a little bit at the end of stage 3. They know they've only got one day left to keep it together and they've found their groove and, already so proud of themselves for getting through 3 days. What's one more? They know, getting back to the beach the next day, I find that they're really keen to get in and get it done.
Tomorrow's tactics will more or less just be to see how it pans out at the front. We might see a move from the Nankervis boys. They put a fair bit of pressure on the climb today, and I think being out of contention for the GC, they're chasing a stage result. So we'll see how we go tomorrow. They might put some pressure on, and if you can get on with them and get a bit of a ride and enjoy the trails, but yeah, we'll just see how it pans out. There's no expectation for us. If we can come home tomorrow in third, we'll be happy, and if the opportunity arises that we can sneak into second, then we'll take it. So.
Okay, so welcome along to Port to Port 2019 Day 4. We got to the end and I'm feeling quite relieved. In a few hours, it's going to be a perfect day. This is as good as it gets.
Stage 4 of the Port to Port heads to the beaches of the Central Coast for another single-track stunner. From the Belmont Golf Course, the fast 40-kilometre stage winds its way along the coast, taking in some of the best single-track Newcastle has to offer, through Redhead, Whitebridge and Glen Rock National Park, before delivering the riders to the finish line right on the beach at Dixon Park. Belmont Golf Course is packed with riders as the final stage of Port to Port 2019 gets underway.
Here we go, send them on their way, folks. Give them a cheer, give them a shout out, give them a round of applause. Our first wave away on the final day.
Away they go! Woo! Get out there! Finish it off! Yes!
With both stage victory and potentially the GC still up for grabs, the Open men's teams are straight onto the gas at the front of the race. As has been the case all week, the Nankervis boys, Giant Australia Off-Road and the Ward brothers are pushing the pace. Having ridden steadily and consistently all week, the Trek Shimano team of Callum Carson and Tom Green are close behind, determined to hold on to their position of second overall. Ward brothers lead the stage as the race enters at Glen Rock National Park, hoping that there is one more twist to be had in the story of the yellow jersey. In its 6-year history, the Port to Port has grown into one of the most popular events in Australian mountain biking, in no small part down to the sheer fun factor of racing across kilometre after kilometre of great single track.
I've been around since the beginning. It's been great to see it grow. Every year it gets stronger and stronger. We listen to the riders' feedback and every year we change things to sort of make the experience even better. Port to Port came from starting in Port Stephens and then finishing at the Port of Newcastle. While neither of those parts of the event are still around, the Port to Port name still sort of sticks, being Newcastle being the base, with it being a port town, I guess. So obviously more riders and sort of a better experience when you have more people, like anything. But seeing the course develop year after year is a really nice thing.
At the famous Glenrock picnic table, having a picnic. What a juice! This is an unofficial feed zone. How about this?
Got any alcohol in it?
No, it's just a juice. Beautiful. Get the sugars back in. Down in one. You got a Tim Tam.
Mixed with a Tim Tam and a grape.
Look, I think this man, you could have a seaweed cracker with hummus. Yeah, yeah. Don't want to mix Tim Tam's grapes.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's too much. Too much. Oh, there they are, just dolphins in the water. Do you see them?
I do.
Yeah.
There.
They're having fun, and as
This
are we.
is better.
Take a break.
Who wants to be mountain biking today when you've got this?
Well, you can do both.
Save the best for last. Very good. No, it was good. Great track. Great weather. Yeah. Newcastle rocks.
I'm Mel. I'm Karen. And we're volunteering at Port to Port. Yes! It's been an awesome weekend.
After 30-odd kilometres, the Singletrack of Glenrock delivers the riders onto the road for the final short push to the beach. The yellow jersey pair of John Odens and Brendan Johnson have been dropped, and the Ward brothers are out of sight. For the tour leaders, it will be a nervy final section as they push hard to the finish. Kyle and Jaden Ward crossed the line first for the stage victory on day 4. Much like the tracks themselves, the story of the yellow jersey has had its twists and turns, but the race leaders crossed the line 33 seconds behind the Wards to confirm their GC victory. Trek Shimano Australia with Callum Carson and Tom Green crossing third to take second overall in the general classification, and Reese and Reese are just a few seconds behind to confirm their 4th place finish.
Yeah, I mean, stoked. I think there's a 6 in a row for me in the Epic Series, which is I'm stoked with, and to come up here with Johnny and really take it to the other strong teams, which everyone kind of had an issue every day, and we sort of fared really well and towards the end of the week and managed to take it out, so absolutely stoked.
Sort of went pretty deep yesterday, we got some good time gaps, but wasn't quite fresh enough for today to get the win, but that's okay, we got the overall, so that's what matters.
It's been a really up and down week. Like, stage 2 was pretty disappointing for us. We're coming in pretty hot, but I guess the giant dudes after stage 1, same feelings. The Tassie boys, it's unfortunate they had to pull the pin, but at the end of the day, the Trek Shimano young fellas, they proved how to do it. Although they were only second, they showed that consistency over the weekend was the main thing, and I think that's something that all of us elite riders can take out of this weekend as pairs stage racing continues to grow and push on for reef to reef and cape to cape.
After 4 stages and by the tightest of margins, Andy Blair and Matt Rizzuto win the Masters GC race, separated by only 1 minute and 46 seconds from Brad Clark and Rowan Adams. In the solo men's category, it's even tighter, as after a week-long tussle, Mitch Lozinski is beaten into second by Ben Mather. The separation after 4 stages is just 31 seconds. Kate McElroy and Samara Shepherd make it home without any hitches to secure their win in the open women's race, as do brother and sister pairing Holly and Michael Harris in the mixed teams.
Like above expectations. Yeah, there was a lot of single track today, and yeah, I was blown away. It was awesome out there.
You know, we knew roughly what each other's strengths were, but you don't fully know until you've actually been in there and done it. So I think, yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to if we decide to race the next 2 rounds, which hopefully, I'm sure we will. It's just been an epic 4 days, and we can only rebuild from here.
I think honestly we were really lucky. Like, we didn't have any mechanicals. We had like a few little slip-ups, but like nothing serious. And we got on really well, which we were a bit worried about. But no, it was just awesome. Like, we honestly couldn't have written it better. It was just smooth sailing.
It was just awesome to ride with Holly. You know, she's so strong, she's hurting me, and so it's just like, it's so cool to see, and you know, hopefully we can do some more races together, and that'd be really cool.
Awesome. Best race ever. So much fun coming in the end there. It's fantastic. Definitely be back again.
Knock this off.
No, we're all good.
Thank you.
Beautiful, man. So great. Beautiful course, trail, everything, man. Loved it.
Really happy to finish.
So happy to finish. Oh, yes! I've done Cape to Cape, and I didn't get a medal. I only got in the mail. Oh, my God!
It's been a tough but fun week in the saddle. Waiting at the finish line is the Bikes, Burgers and Beers Festival, providing the perfect finish to a great week of racing.